This is what happens to you when you are completely cleansed. The purest form of nature is within us. The purest form of nature is within us. Our chakras are made out of that purest form of nature. We are the only people who are spoiling it by our mental thinking. Again the same Saraswati's work. We are going against Saraswati itself. Saraswati cleanses all that is impure in nature, while with our brain activity we are spoiling all that. All our brain activity goes against pure intelligence. And that's what one has to understand, that this pure intelligence is not to be soiled by our thinking. Our thinking can make us so bumptious, so ego-oriented, so impure, that we can really eat the poison and say, what's wrong? Just the opposite of Saraswati. If Saraswati is within us, she gives us subuddhi, wisdom. And that's why to worship Saraswati, to worship Surya, we must have that clear vision as to what we have to be, what we are doing, what filth we are living in, what our mind is getting into. After all, we are here for emancipation and not for just pampering our ego and living with our filth that is with us. So this light should come within us and we should try to rise above our own mental filth which is being created around us. Apart from that, you have to go higher and understand that there is within us a thing called ego. And this ego is false, absolute false. You do not do anything. Actually, when you turn your eyes here and there, when your attention is here and there, it's nothing but your ego is trying to overpower everything. But actually ego is an absolute falsehood, because there's only one ego, and that is of God Almighty, Mahat Ahankara. There is no really any ego that exists. It's a myth, it's a very big myth. Because if you start thinking, you are doing everything, you are doing this, you are doing that, which you are not doing, then this nonsensical ego comes in and you start working it out. It can project in every direction. When it projects forward, it overpowers others, it tries to dominate others, tries to kill others, becomes cruel. When it moves right side, it becomes supraconscious. It starts seeing things which are absurd, which are foolish, which are stupid. When it moves left side, then it starts seeing things, yourself as a big man, as a big Christ, or as a big Devi, or something. There are Adi Gurus and I am very great personality. That's left side. When it moves backwards, that's the dangerous one. When people become gurus, which are ruining other people. When the ego moves backwards, then they become gurus. They themselves have lots of defects in themselves, and they try to pull people into those horrible stuff which is described as absolute narka. That's how is the movement of ego on all the sides. Now, when people try to use their right vishuddhi, that is to talk about themselves, is the worst of all. Whatever type of ego you may have, if you start boasting about it and talking about it, then it encircles, thickens the walls of ego so much that it is impossible to penetrate into that, because that such a person is completely satisfied with himself and he believes that he is so. And once he starts believing into a nonsense like that, is an impossibility. It's an impossibility to penetrate. So when you boast about these things or you talk big, be careful.